Hello students of Newfoundland and Labrador Studies 2205. This is Unit 1 on Culture, Section 2, Lesson 2, and this is Video 1 for the lesson on Types of Economies. I'm Miss Fleming, and I'm here with you for this course. That was a lot of information, so let's get going. Before we begin, I would like for you to ponder the following. If someone gave you $100 with no strings attached, no parameters, no rules on how to spend it, what to spend it on, what not to spend it on, what would you do with the money? I want you to think about that and hold on to it, and at the end of our second video, we'll come back to it. So, it is important to examine the relationship between the economy and culture. The way we use our resources to meet our needs and wants shapes our culture. A lot of people tend to think of economy meaning money and business, but that's not what it is. Our economy is the way that we use our resources, which one of our resources could be money, to meet our needs and wants. People have used a lot of time and energy exploiting natural resources available to them for their food, clothing, and their shelter. And it's important to remember that there is a correlation between what's called the gross domestic product, or GDP, and quality of life indicators. Both of these we will revisit later. Because they're both here, I'd like to point out again, just as a reminder, any words that are highlighted in red are important terms, and anything highlighted in orange are important concepts. All right, let's talk about the different types of economies. First is a subsistence economy. This is defined as when people produce and consume products themselves. The concept has been referred to as a pre-industrial economy as well, so you might have heard that term before in another course, but a pre-industrial economy is a subsistence economy. Both the indigenous people and early settlers that have lived in this place we now call Newfoundland and Labrador, have participated in a subsistence economy throughout history. And many people still participate in subsistence activities today. So you might be wondering, what are subsistence activities? Well, they include things like, say, cutting and burning of firewood to keep your home warm, picking berries to eat, or to use those berries to make preserves or other baked goods and recipes. Hunting for consumption meaning to eat, not to sell. And the growing of vegetables, same thing, for you to eat yourself. People still do these types of activities today, even though we don't live in a fully subsistent economy anymore. But we can still participate in subsistence activities. Let's talk about the barter economy. Over time, a subsistence economy will change as populations increase and people start living closer together. When people live closer together, they trade goods. With the trading of goods, people start to produce more efficiently. They specialize in a particular kind of good or service. Then they trade that good or service for something else. And when goods are traded for other goods, it's called a barter economy. I use this example of codfish and cabbage because of fishers during the bank fishery, which became very popular in the 19th century. I will talk about it a bit more in our next unit. But people who participated in the bank fishery did not have time to grow their own vegetables like they used to. So because of that, people who fished would then trade fish with people who grew their own vegetables, so that the people who grew their own vegetables who couldn't go out to fish also had fish to eat, and then the people who fished also had vegetables to eat. The last economy I wanted to highlight is a market economy, which is the kind of economy we currently live in. The use of currency often evolves as a means of exchange in a barter economy. It has a very similar system to a barter economy, but one of the resources is money. Money is used in place of another good to receive a good. When everyone uses currency and the prices of goods are set by a marketplace, it is referred to as a market economy. Consumer choice and competition are vital in a market economy. See, prices of goods are determined by what's called the law of supply and demand, which states that the price of a product is based on a balance of how much producers are willing to produce at a particular price and how much consumers are willing to buy at a particular price. So that farmer now who grows cabbages has a price set, and the demand means how much people are willing to spend on those cabbages. Okay, now it's time to continue to the next video, but before you do so, please make sure you take a break if you need one, and I'll see you in the next one.